Welcome to Center of Light, everybody. Good to see you. Keith Anthony Blanchard here. Yanava. Center of Light 4D. Center of Light 4D. The Twilight Zone. Down, 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 down. It's good to see you. I'm going to get into this presentation here a little bit. Just want to say hi to everyone. Karen Jill Snyder. Tell Wayne I said hi. Robert Harrison. What's up, brother? Zach is in the house. What's up, Zach Kane? Anna Yoga. Abilita. Others are going to be collecting soon. Hello, Sana. Sana. Everyone, good to see you. Center of Light here. We're speaking about the fourth dimension, limbo, purgatory, corona, but not corona. We're not speaking about corona. I'm done with all that. I'm talking about the present situation. You have entered a space of mind. Lots is going on, y'all. Lots is coming. I had an experience night before last with a Venusian. I experience lots of different beings all the time. They don't really ever give me names of their race. Only two so far in my entire development expansion. One was the Clarions, and night before last was a Venusian, and the name was Sketcher, like the shoes. Sketcher. Hello, Joe Sugar. She said, major events are coming. She didn't lean into it one way or the other. That sounds vague, I know. I'm just telling you the experience I had. I didn't get a chance to look at her. Well, I did get the chance to look at her, but I didn't. She was over here, and I could see her peripherally, but I didn't look at her. She was a Venusian. Her name was Sketcher. Hung out with her for a while. Lots of feeling exchange. This is the way we dialogued. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Tonight is Center of Light 4D, the Twilight Zone. We're going to talk a lot about what we never thought ourselves to be living in such a Twilight Zone-y kind of place. We've been doing it all our lives. Living in the Twilight Zone. My name is Rod Serling. I hope everyone is well. It's been a while for me. I usually do these every night, so I took 3 nights break off. I've been doing lots of radio interviews for the brand new release coming out August 1st, 2020. Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. Dark Night of the Soul. Hell. Everything's backwards. So this would be the Twilight Zone right here. This whole place right in here. Until you get somewhere about there. This is all Twilight Zone. Gets a little lighter. Gets out of the fog and the dark. But there's still some smog and a lot of bark and bite in there. Don't kid yourself. You can pre-order this book now on Amazon. Let me drop the link. One moment. Please share this work, our play, as we are in the garden. All right, let me get down to some beeswax here shortly. Just doing a couple of errands, if you will. There's the link to Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, but the link didn't grab. Yes, it is. It's in there. There we go. You can pre-order this now on Amazon.com. Thank you for your support, everyone. All right, let's look at a couple of things that we must do. I want to do. It's on the to-do list. My brother and or sis. Reestablishing the ancient church. Declaration of the new divine establishment mantra mission statement. Hi, Melinda. Melinda says, I have a sense I'm in the fourth, and it's my hope, my vision, my intention to help you move a little further out of that place or full-blown into the fifth, but I don't want to use that as pseudo-spirituality. The fifth dimension and ascension and 5D. I don't want to do that. I'm using this in the sense of just moving you into a better place for yourself. You're the one claimed you in the fourth, meaning lots of gray stuff. This is my mission statement probably for the rest of my life. And this is declaration of the new divine establishment mantra. Hello, Sue Lindsay. Mission statement. I am a soul of divine light here on this planet to use my God-given abilities for peace and unity as an anchor for the prophecy of heaven on earth. I am that which is and will always be. My intent is to be conscious every moment, placing my feet on the path toward the kingdom of my divine birth. It is my divine birthright of which I now claim. This is our mantra, our slogan, our mission statement. Where we are from, there is no blame, shame, nor game, as I am the sole provider of my infinite experience. No person, place, or thing can affect me in my essence, for I am invincible. My will is to forever move inward, upward, forward, toward the great central sun, S-U-N-S-O-N. I am that sun, S-U-N-S-O-N, our daughter. And because I give warmth and light to everything, I can never die, for I am eternal. My divine principal parent is calling me homeward, and I must go. As I have patiently and powerfully taken steps for eons, I now find myself standing at the God Garden Gate. With every breath, I cross the threshold and into the kingdom of forever. At last, I am at peace, for I am a child of the infinite light of God. And so it is. Amen. Steve Stone, hello. Hello, everyone. So tonight is Center of Light 4D, the Twilight Zone. You are traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. This wasn't planned. The pit of man's fear, it lies between where we are. Hello, Kim Gary. The Twilight Zone. It lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. That's the Twilight Zone. It's 3 a.m. and the fear is gone. The gun's still warm. The gun's still warm. Now I'm stepping into the Twilight Zone. It's a madhouse, feels like being owned. I forgot the lyrics. You will come to know when the bullet hits the bone. The bullet has hit everyone's bone. And not the funny bone, because it ain't so funny to many people. So, let me read that again. You are traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. It's exactly what's happening to everyone. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. There's nothing you can do right now except sit home and imagine what it's like to be out again, or to imagine this or imagine that, because you can't go anywhere. You are in the Twilight Zone. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. We're in the Twilight Zone. Fourth dimension. That swirly can be possibly phenomenal, cool space to be in if you know what to do with yourself when you get there. Keith, it just feels a little, of course it feels weird because you're not used to it. You're not used to or remembering that aspect of you that is simply wherever it wants to be. We've been shut off since our birth. So of course, until you play in that arena a little bit, it'll feel strange to you. Belief is like putting your toe in the water. But one must drown to ever know the depth of the divine ocean. I believe, so I'm going to put my pinky toe in there. You will always live in the twilight zone. Many people who are believers, they are dabblers. Where do you go from there? Do you just sit comfortable in belief? Or do you want to drown in the divine ocean? Because where you are in belief, and when you finally drown and die, only to be reborn in spirit in the divine ocean, all that space is the twilight zone. It's all strange possibilities. But it's no longer strange when you become conscious of it. Then you gradually, exponentially move into the higher dimension, or as they call it, the fifth dimensional frequency. How frequently are you of yourself conscious when things in your life, be it in another realm of experience, be it meditation or during sleep, or just in what you call your open-eyed everyday reality? It's still the twilight zone. Things get a little boogered and bothered sometimes. It's still the twilight zone. It is no different. Look at this banner. That vortex, that pull. We get pulled into things from the outside world. Rod Serling and all his awesome coolness. The twilight zone eyeball in the middle of the word zone. Big Daddy William Shatner. And from Beauties in the Eye of the Beholder man, the pig-looking man. Every day somewhat looks like that place. It can, and it still does for many, many people. Tonight I want to share with you quite a few things. What the twilight zone, I'm using this as a metaphor to create a theme for a show, is unaware territory that at some point you will be forced to enter. I'm also going to talk about karma. Talk about a twilight zone. I'm going to do everything to marry all of this together. Twilight zone, because in the twilight zone, I'm going to have to go inside of myself and find a place of chaos, because one does exist in me and all of us, or what at least I call chaos, and twilight zone-ish. And I'm going to have to go allow myself to be in the swirl and the twirl of it, so I can bring forth this presentation of disorder. It's good to see you, beautiful people. Let's see who's here in this way. Hello, Kelly Curtis. I see you. All right, y'all. Going to take a short pause. Going to be right back. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard. Robert says, don't let your karma run over your dogma. Hey, I want some good karma to run over some dogma. Trust me. I'm going to see you shortly. Let's see what I'm going to play tonight. I'm going to play something different. Yeah. Well, how do we get out of the twilight zone? Then we must do what Lavender Soul says. People listen to me as I sing this song for you.
inside. That's where the love lies. Message that I bring is wrong. And in your heart, that's where you'll find the truth. Inside, that's where the love lies. Listen to me.
Welcome to Center of Light. Good to see you guys on this beautiful Sunday night. Sunday. Big truck power. Center of Light 4D, fourth dimension. Twilight Zone. Life can get a little funky sometimes. Limbo, purgatory, stuck in between realms. Homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul. Pre-order now. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Carmen Shasha. All right, let's get down to some beeswax. From Homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul, my new release. Spirit says, I know you feel intimidated, but I assure you that if you're willing to go through hell to get to heaven, the divine that occupies these seemingly empty spaces will be revealed to you. That's easy for you to say, I respond. Spirit says, know that I understand your reluctance to confront the abyss of your own demons. That being said, Keith, do it anyway. For I am here with you in places where you are not present within yourself, to give you what only I can, the feeling that everything is okay. And until you get to that spot, that is the twilight zone. That's fourth dimension. All you need to do is let go and expand your awareness until you recognize the sureness of that. And I say, will you walk with me? And Spirit says, right by your side. Now close your eyes and think of something that is really troubling you. Fall into the twilight zone. Close your eyes. Think of something simply bothering you at this present time in your life. Temporary. It's been going on for a week, a month, just today, whatever it is. Feel that negative current, that negative cycle, that swirl that's... In fact, just by thinking about it, you feel yourself going deeper into that rabbit hole, do you not? Stay there. Stay in that spot. Close your eyes. Hello, Katina LaBeouf, Vicky, Abigail. So everyone, close your eyes. Find something troubling you, be it today, for a week, for a month, whatever has you bothered. Go inside of yourself. Not only look at it, submerge yourself in it. And that swirl gets pretty tough. It'll pull you further into making you not like it and how you're boogered and or bothered. Stay there. I'm going to liberate you from it. Spirit says, know that I do understand your reluctance to confront the abyss of your own demons. Stay in that spot. That being said, dear ones, do it anyway, for I am here with you in places where you are not present with yourself, to give you what only I can, the feeling that everything is okay. All you need to do is let go and expand your awareness until you recognize the sureness of that. And we say, will you walk with me? And God says, right by your side. Now close your eyes and think of something that is really troubling you. Breathe in and out evenly for a few minutes to fall deeper within yourself. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in passionately, exhale sincerely. Breathe in passionately, exhale sincerely. Breathe in passionately, exhale sincerely. Take notice of any of those negative feelings that come up. Then, with one last sincere exhale, release your troublesome thought to the universe and listen carefully. Do you hear it? Do you hear the soft voice of the soul whispering its wisdom into your heart? And I say, I bet you can open your eyes now. That's the place. That's the place that will liberate you. Paradoxically, going to jail in your jail is key to opening the gate. Because that's where you liberate yourself. Spirit says, do you hear the soft voice of your soul whispering wisdom into your heart? And I say, I've been able to do this before and when I've meditated on some other issues, but I can't seem to consciously make the connection on this one. This is very integral to the meditation inventory you just did. I've been able to do this before when I've meditated on some other issues, but I can't seem to consciously make the connection on this one. Then you must go even deeper to discover where your demon dwells. Hello, 2020. When you find it, it will probably look like a scared child cowering in a corner. But do not be fooled by its appearance and do not attempt to offer it pity, because it can and will take advantage of you. If you must, use another intense visualization to yank your demon out of your subconscious. Then offer it up to the light of consciousness and watch it melt like the vampires you've seen in the movies. When you begin to see through all of your illusions, the beauty that has always been there will humble you. The circle of life will then curve back within you, and suddenly God will be present for you at a conscious level. I think everyone, at least who's hanging out with me, through all the different avenues, we're all fortunate to be with a lot of these teachers that are now surfacing. We're starting to understand going into your trouble is where you will find your liberation. Well, I'm taking it day by day. That's cool. I'm glad you're taking it in some sort of way. Why not just go into the situation and complete it? Hello, Lisa Wood. I would. Lisa would. Would you? So I did say tonight we're going to talk about karma a little bit. Welcome everyone to Center of Light 4D, the Twilight Zone. Center of Light 4D, the Twilight Zone. So this place, the Twilight Zone, go into it. And all the episodes by Rod Serling, people, everyday people just like you and me, everyday people just like you and me, everyday people just like you and me have found themselves in some strange land, some strange dimension. Should I mention, no one gets overlooked by karma. Karma follows every one of us around like a shadow. It is a shadow. It's our own shadow. When there's a source of light on anything, on this plane, there's always a shadow. Unless it's 12 o'clock high. That means you're balanced. You're upright. The sun, S-U-N-S-O-N, is above you. And you're aligned with it. No shadow. Come 1 o'clock, come 11 o'clock, there's a shadow. And every hour in between, how good are you at not casting shadows? Hello, Brent Dennis. What's up, Brent? Abigail says some issues are layered and need more work. It generally means we need to alter our perception a bit and when we rethink. We rarely repeat lessons unless we ignore them. Absolutely. Most things do not get chiseled at with a bit of focus on it. Most things get chiseled at with focus. So I did say I was going to talk a little bit about karma. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Karma will kiss everyone on their face. Everyone. Every one of us. The people you see who are in trouble in the world today, or who have been in trouble and have passed. I understand we use the word, these people were innocent. I get it. We're all guilty. And we're all innocent. Neither one of those nullifies the law. And our divine child of lightness, our divine child of godness, there's the light. That's the innocent. And in the twilight zone of us, hello? Karma will not be left undone. Not at this time. In fact, this time is about karma completing itself. When you make a soul contract, the higher intelligence, God, whatever you deem it, call it, see it, experience it. When you started that descent eons ago, you understood. You cannot come back fully until you complete the cycle of losing consciousness, losing absolute consciousness. Absolute consciousness. That's why we've fallen from grace. Well, Keith, what about those who influenced us on the way down? That's called not taking responsibility. Somehow we bought into their illusion when they influenced us, so we have to take responsibility. It's called karma. lifting yourself above it. How do you lift yourself above karma? I'll tell you. Forgiveness of others, and especially yourself. Because you can't forgive anyone until you forgive yourself. Because your gift of forgiveness will be very shallow. Karma is kissing everyone on their face at this time. So when souls make contracts to come to earth, basically, just to give you an idea, and this time that you go down to earth, you will stay here at least that long. You have the potential to be there longer if that's what you decide. Forgiveness. Because in those people who do those things to you, in your forgiveness of them, not only do you lift yourself up, because non-forgiveness is only hurting ourselves, it weighs us down, but in forgiving of the other person, you forgive yourself for the karma that you have brought upon yourself via the person who's doing the said thing to you. And in the forgiveness, they lift as well. We're here to be light workers. Make things light. Lighten things up. Move them towards the light. Brothers and sisters, all of us. Forgiveness takes you off the hook. There's lots of craziness happening in the world around. In my time with the Venusian sketcher, night before last, when she came and give me a visit, first time with her, she said big things are coming. She didn't lean one way or the other. She didn't say positive or negative. She just said major things are coming. Twilight zone. The potential. So karma will not be left undone. It never is, but in this time will not be left undone. And people are exiting our reality. They just disappear. They're just going. Some people are hanging on to a dead world for dear life. And I don't mean just this coronavirus lockdown situation. I'm talking about shifting realities, period. Simply just shifting. Even knowing better. Even knowing consciously that this is the way I should be traveling. It will be the lightest load I will ever carry, if I carry one at all, because the one that walks beside me will lighten my load via the grace that's given to me when I live in the space that I am. I am. So the people who are experiencing horrible things in this time we're living in have brought it upon themselves. Those people who are being bullied by bully police. I'm not saying all police are. I'm just using this as an analogy. Those people are crying victim. I don't like that particular part of the establishment either. Maybe someone got seriously injured by bad police because they actually placed themselves in a situation in the first place. Karma shows up immediately. When your agenda is not clean and or clear, and this time, karma just said, the window's open, you just called me. Did you not? Come here, child. Sounds like I'm making light of it. I'm not making fun of it. I'm making light of it. Bringing a light to the situation. Awareness is light in the light of awareness. And those people who are dying by whatever is causing people to die out there, it's going on every day, all the time, since we've all been born. But speaking to this situation, they're not of the vibration that is allowing them to stay in this realm. We're all going to have our turn. No one gets out of here alive. Center of Light 4D, the Twilight Zone. I want to read that again. It's very pertinent, very on point for this show. Christopher Bingham. Melinda says it's a sneaky Pete. Those hidden areas of forgiveness. Lisa Wood says free will. Jody Lee Whittis. All right, so we're going to revisit Rod Serling of the Twilight Zone. Tonight is Center of Light 4D, the Twilight Zone. Rod Serling's opening dialogue to the show. Relate that to where we are today. You are traveling through another dimension. This is where we're coming from. We're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight, but of sound and of mind. Not only of sight and sound, but of mind. It's the middle ground. It's the middle ground between light and shadow. Science and superstition. And it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This dimension is of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. Let me give you another idea of what the Twilight Zone is. Joe Sugar says a pink elephant just walked by the Twilight Zone. Do you think, you can answer if you like, answer honestly because I'm going to pause, that when you were born, your soul inserted itself into a body, and you have been living since your birth all the way to this moment? Feel free to answer. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Junebug. What's up, Junie Buggy? So, your birthday, your first birth, your original birth, do you think that your soul came through the cosmic womb? It did. And you're right here at this point of your life. Hello, Trisha Carr. If that is your mindset, that you were born many years ago, John Wright, what's up, brother? If you believe that you were born many years ago, and you've lived all this life, and here you are, you, me, we have been living in the fourth dimension. We have been living in the Twilight Zone. That's the Twilight Zone. You were born somewhere over here. You step into this world, and the first thing they do when you step into this world is they hit you. They hit you to make you cry. What do you think your first impression is of this dimension is? And you begin your walk on a crickety-rickety rope bridge. You step on it, it does this. That's called life. When you get pretty good and you balance it, then you can walk and run across the actual old wooden bridge planks because you're good. You know how to step lightly. You can use your dance to make in fact, you're actually manipulating the bridge now, having fun with it versus trying to hold on for your dear life. Kind of like riding a bicycle with training wheels. And you get really good at it. Then your spiritually start expanding. So if you think that you were born many years ago, you've lived all this time, and you're here now, that's the Twilight Zone. The soul didn't necessarily enter the body all that time ago. You will get out of your own Twilight Zone when you realize the soul is here now. You were in the soul. When it comes to the karmic aspect of it, we see these people as John or Jill Doe went out to a protest or something, whatever they went to, and something happened. That is Twilight Zone. Ask the man who got stranded on another planet in one of the episodes. He loved being a rocket guy, an astronaut, until he got stranded. So life comes from our birth to here. That's the twilight zone. Because we believe on many different levels, even consciously, though we know it's probably not right, it still doesn't negate the fact that it's integrated into our system. It's an engram. It's a thorn in the mind that needs to be plucked. That you were born, lived, and you're here. That's twilight zone. The way you get out of it is recognize that you are in the soul. So these people who come to earth who is having these karmic exits, hello Rick Vito, these karmic exits, be it whatever situation that we all find ourselves in at this time of our lives. You see, karma will not go incomplete. The soul does not leave there to be in the body, to live all this life, to where you find yourself right here, right now. These people who are exiting the planet, the soul is completing itself with itself in the very moment. So it's not about going from that space from the past to end up to this future event, which we call now because yesterday one of your friends got in serious trouble or one of your friends passed away. Do you understand? The soul is completing itself. Right here, right now. It's always right here, right now. It seems that this linear timeline is a grace to live and play in another arena, the earth. And you can stay as long as you want, provided you do the work that it takes, so that when you get to that inevitable day, that you've expanded yourself enough to inevitably stay. There is no other way. The soul is completing itself. And when the soul completes itself, things change. And they may change very drastically. Like the leaving of a loved one. Hello, Sylvia. Isaacson, I think it's pronounced. Hello, Rena. Beautiful Rena. Robert Harrison says, I think I got off on the wrong planet. Yeah, brother, you took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Abigail says, my granddaughter's first cry tore her lung. How you like that? I don't like it at all. She had pneumonia thorax. She wasn't allowed to cry for several weeks after that. She had to be kept happy. I say that's an interesting beginning. Abigail says it's cool that happiness was the cure. So understand, the time we're living in is the twilight zone. Since your birth on this earth and in all mirth, for what it is worth, we find ourselves here in this very spot. And all the way back from the beginning, that's twilight zone. Troubles come, troubles go. But unlike on the episodes, we have a way out of the conundrum. The fourth dimension, limbo. How do I move into a higher vibrational dimension, bandwidth, frequency, energy? Reality. You can't run away from your demons. You can try. But again, demon, dark, shadow, all the same word, all the same thing. Your shadow will follow you. Because if you have demons dwelling in your subconscious mind, wherever you go, so does your subconscious mind. In fact, your subconscious mind is more of what you are than what you think you are. We've been living in a twilight zone. And Rod Serling is just kicking back, watching his own episodes, his real life episodes, from wherever he's at. So your best ploy to get out of the twilight zone is not to get out of the twilight zone. It's to go through the twilight zone and move into the my light zone. I'm in my light, and in this zone is all my might. And I'm a lie in that. How do you find God in such a time of chaos? Hello, Lisa Deaton. How do you find God in chaos? Get out of the chaos in every aspect. Just be still. Let the chaos exist around you. Let the twilight zone be. Don't be one of the actors in Twilight Zone and acting out the script that was handed to you and you believe it, so you became the actor. And you're the pig-faced man on Beauty's in the Eye Beholder, or the rag doll that talks to people, or you don't have to be any of these people. You could be Rod Serling itself and go, what's that thing you do? They do like this? You could be watching the movie, The Observer. So I strongly suggest support, hope, want for you, would like to see have happen for you. Is while this is all happening, it's not going to get easier. It's not going to get better. Belief is like putting your toe in the water. But you must drown to ever know the depth of the divine ocean. You may think that you're feeling good. Fantastic, I hope you are. Ask yourself something that you should. Is there, go into a meditation and say, is there something bothering me that I am unaware of? If so, call it up now. And something will pop up just like that. And it may not be a biggie, but you don't want any little ones either. Look at it, honestly, love it, appreciate it, forgive the person who did that thing to you, and yourself for creating the karma that brought that person into your life, even if it's your parents at an early age from another lifetime that you did same thing. Forgive yourself. That way you can forgive them and everybody has sins. Hello, Darlene. Forgiveness is probably one of the most powerful, exalting principles there is. Self-forgiveness. Well, Keith, this person did that thing to me. That's what you're saying. And I'm not saying that person didn't do that something to you. I am saying you are upset because on some level that you do know better, because you on some level you're conscious, don't forgive yourself for the karma that you have brought about that kissed you on your face. Person shows up, wow, I freak out. I can't believe. I get it. Not only with people, we do this with events. We do this with illnesses, conditions, diseases, ailments. We do the same thing with positive things. We praise and blame, praise and blame, praise and blame. Shame and gain. It's all the same. However you spin it, good and bad, right, wrong, hot, cold, holy, blasphemous, you are it. The question simply becomes to all of us, why have we been choosing to live in the Twilight Zone? Twilight Zone. My experience the other night with a Venusian. Her name was Sketcher, like the shoe, yes. She came to me and said, major events are coming. We're only halfway through 2020. Just over half. Things will soon lighten up a little bit. But even in their lighting up, there will be a counterpoint. The scale's going to start leaning because of the weight. Notice this. Here's even playing field, right? Here's an even playing field. This one represents weight, negativity, darkness, heaviness. This one represents light. So when the weight gets applied, the light doesn't have to do anything. The light is not trying to do anything. The weight is being applied. So the verb is the weight. The light is the noun. The light doesn't do anything. The light sits there patiently. Or you sitting there in your sacred space, still quiet and patient. And naturally, you will lift. But while the dark applies itself, it becomes heavy. So what does the scale do? The dark weighs things down, and naturally the light just lifts because of the scale being pressed upon by gravity by said weight. It just simply happens. Someone just greased the sprocket on the scale of justice, and it's ready to rock. Literally, ready to rock. Rock. So with this spiritual lubrication, as it moves and allows things to spin, I've been saying this for a month. I'm pretty solid. I can handle things. Good. I love it. I would say the same thing. But the gate is open. The Twilight Zone. You're stepping into it. Have you ever entertained the one thing that you can't be in a state of balance if it would ever happen? I'm not wishing you ill. I'm asking you to plant yourself. That one thing you never thought about possibly can show up in these major events. And no one else will be affected by it but you, because it's personal. Helinda Oviedo Montoya. Hello, sister. Callan Renando, hello. She was a Venusian from Venus, brother. From the planet Venus. And she's got it. Yeah, baby, she got it. All right, so tonight is Center of Light 4D, the Twilight Zone. Your birth, all the way to this moment, because of all of the troubles we all share equally. That's the Twilight Zone. Karma will not be incomplete. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. The way out of the Twilight Zone is to go through it. You can't skirt around it. You can't go over the top. You can't go in the opposite direction. You have to move through it. You have to see the forest through the trees. You have to see paradise through the fog bank. Through all the stank. The Twilight Zone. I invite, support, encourage you to close your eyes no matter how blissful you feel in your life and fall into a divine, spiritual, meditative space and say, God, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Source, Creator, the light of consciousness, all that means anything. Place in my mind's eye, help me to remember something I've long forgotten that's keeping me into the twilight zone of my life versus the my light zone of who I am. And suddenly when you were about 4 years old, someone rolled over your toe with their bicycle and you haven't let it go. Let me tell you what Tibetan monks are doing in those caves all those years. Do you know what those Tibetan monks are doing in those caves all those years? In a space of spiritual samadhi, becoming one with God. You know what they're doing? They're forgiving everything. They're forgiving themselves. They're forgiving the people who did anything to them. They're forgiving the people who did anything to anybody else. They're forgiving. Sort of like Ho'oponopono. They're even going into different realms of reality and forgiving to exalt that reality, because in that exaltation of said reality, they exalt themselves and go through other wormholes out of the Twilight Zone. You see, the wormhole looks like this, and it will suck you in. But that portal is a two-way highway. It can also blow you right back out into another experience. You have to become the director, like Rod Serling, and not the actor. The people who ended up on stranded planets, desolate planets, being stranded. Because right now, There's many people out there who seem isolated, separated, like they're living on a desolate planet called Earth. Twilight Zone, is it not? I'm out of the Twilight Zone. I have moments. I have glimpses. I don't want to go back there. Every day, God is always in my mind. Somewhere in the back here leading my way. Because I'm always leaning into it. Every day, God is always in my heart. All that's good, everything that's beautiful is always with me. I'm sure it's always with you. I'm just speaking for myself as a teacher to saying, I hope you are leaning into that so much so you can't literally shut it off by calling your divine parent's name, whatever name you choose. There's a beautiful song that begins to happen inside of you. When God, just simple, you don't have to call it that. My spiritual expansion is priority. When that becomes default in you, music inside of you begins to play. Hello, Tom Schaefer. When you begin to vibrate like a song, universe, uni-one, verse song, universe, one song. When you begin to vibrate like music, you will hear music of the spheres. There will be a harmony of music, but also a harmony with divine parent inside of you that becomes fluent like water, like a river of divine consciousness. And you don't have to paddle. You just sit on the raft and enjoy the ride. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go into vessel. I'm going to drown in the divine ocean. Belief is putting your toe into the water. But you have to drown to ever know the depth of the divine ocean. Why not Lavender Soul? This seems appropriate. I am open to any artist out there who write and or record music. I would love to play your music through this platform. But right now we're going to fall into the depth of the divine ocean and drown. My brother Rob Garrett says, love is a river in which I hope to drown.
There's a world apart from a man in fear. There might be a better way to appear. There's a time to trust and a time to love and a time to know what you are. So let the love of God, it's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are, perfect in every way. plan to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to love and a time to trust and a time to know you are loved. Time to know you are loved. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. It's time to celebrate who you are. It's time to celebrate that you are.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Robert, thank you very, 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 very much for grabbing those lyrics from the Twilight Zone song. Tonight is Center of Light 4D. That space we've been living in since our birth. Twilight Zone. It is. Now we found ourselves seriously in the Twilight Zone, where karma will complete itself. And is, always has, and always will. The lyrics for the song Twilight Zone by Golden Earring. How perfect is this? Twilight Zone. It feels like, hang on, let me get, it's missing. There we go. Help, I'm stepping into the Twilight Zone. Place is a madhouse. Feels like being cloned. My beacon's been moved under moon and star. Where am I to go now that I've come too far? Almost makes you wish you would have checked out a long time ago, didn't it? So yes, an aspect of you was born many years ago, and you find yourself here listening to me, spending time with me. Thank you. The soul entered the body back then, but you are always in the soul. In is the way out. Go in for the sake of going in. Don't go in as the way out. Just go because you know that's where your joy is. Everything will naturally fall into place. So the soul is completing itself. You're still there. You're still over there when you were born, and now you're here all at the same time. And this triad, this trinity, the Holy Spirit is that which equalizes all imbalances. When you equalize yourself, there's no longer an imbalance, and you get to stay here a little longer, a little stronger. Yarava. Poetically it is. You find yourself in the Twilight Zone. What a beautiful analogy to bring forth this powerful presentation of light. From the Twilight Zone to the My Light Zone. Major changes are coming. They are here. Said differently, when you dwell backwards, you're living in the Twilight Zone. When you project forward out of worry, you're living still in the Twilight Zone. And all this twilight zoning is happening in the moment right now, if you decide to shift yourself to either degree. See? Again, said, for you, what you must do to move through this illusion is nothing. Simply be still. Things are coming, if you will, said that way because you understand. We know this is going to transpire because we are present. Spirit is present, the we that surrounds the vessel. There are many that surround all of you. Likewise, what we are able to see is not coming upon you. It's here already. So you being asked to brace yourself very loosely. Hold on loosely. Things will come. It will feel like a punch in the heart, a chop to the throat, a kick in the groin, a poke in your eyes. It's okay. You can wipe yourself off, collect yourself, stand tall. This is the test and the trial for everyone. And the denial of many. But those who stay planted, steadfast, will be the ones who get the plenty, the plethora of the goods. The others will sadly be lost in the woods. The trial simply looks like this for each and every one of you. It is a test for you to learn to be present. There's your gift. There's nothing else you have to do. See? I actually feel, this is Keith, I actually feel a very strong negative energy trying to insert itself into my consciousness. Very powerful. In fact, it's influencing me, trying to give it my credence. So you would think that Keith would say, oh, don't do that, because that opens the door. That's exactly the point. What was offered earlier, what I shared was, when you have something show up, your demon, where it dwells, you don't run away from it. You go into it. So I metaphorically turn to it, invite it. And it's all over me right now, and it's sticky, and it stinks, and it's dirty, and it's grimy, and it's scratchy. We can call that an energy or an entity. Doesn't matter to me what it's called, because it's not going to stick around very much longer. Because I'm going to dismiss it. Because I'm going to fall into it and see what it really wants. Because that aspect of myself obviously wants to be heard. So I'm going to give it a listen and see what I've been missing. You think you're so smart? You can still use this tool of thinking you're so smart. This is the energy speaking. What it feels like. It comes from my childhood of using this very thing as a coping mechanism. Little did I realize then, and still to this day, it's still creating backlash and backward steps in my life on an unconscious level. So now that I brought that to my light of consciousness, I look at it honestly, and I forgive it. And I forgive myself, which allows me to fully forgive it. Because until then, the forgiveness is very mundane, it's very superficial. It's only top surface stuff. I want to go into the depth and fill myself in a space I've always felt empty. And so I now tell it, thank you. You've made your point. I see it clearly. I see you clearly, and I'm grateful. And I begin to wield it and mold it, manipulate it, and it's done. It's done. because now I am aware of it. There's nothing else I have to do. Spirit steps in. In the light of awareness is everything. There's nothing you have to do except learn to be presently aware. This is the trial and tribulation coming for everyone. Everyone, everyone, everyone. It's grace, I tell you, it's grace. Karma will revisit you and kiss you on your face. Do you see the diamond or do you see the peanut butter? The diamond in the peanut butter jar is still a diamond, so you better get busy wiping off the sticky stuff so that you may see a shimmer, a bling bling, a glimmer of hope for yourself if you one who feels so down about things. Spirit brings you something very, very powerful. Instead of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, why is this happening? Say, my dear Lord, this has happened to me for a reason. Help me find my reasoning in this thing and make this the season of that which you can bring to me, or at least help me recognize right here, right now, in this beautiful, holy, sacred moment. Do you see? Not so hard, is it? No Twilight Zone here. Actually, no Twilight Zone there either. Do you feel the spirit and the power of in that empty space? Do you feel that? No Twilight Zone. No Twilight Zone. No Twilight Zone. None whatsoever. Such a small step is such a monumental step and will be needed as what that is that's coming that will soon step upon you in many different ways. Because believe it or not, even the powerful things, positive things that can happen and will happen to you can make you feel adrift in some twilight zone, because the euphoria will be so strong you won't know how to balance yourself, and you have a potential in this way to lose your footing in your stepping back into the twilight zone you go. See, because where you are, you're in limbo between these two worlds, one that is dead and or dying, and one that is soon to be birthed, and many have crossed the river Jordan, are now on dry land and living in absolute joy, ecstasy, and spiritual bliss. Don't miss this opportunity. You will be waiting for another 26,000-ish years. Dears, you've lived a lot of blood, sweat, and years, tears. You were born into the twilight zone. You are loved beyond measure. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard. Homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul. Twilight zone. Until you get here. That's me. I'm well across that bridge. I hope you are passing me up and say, Keith, give me your hand. Let me pull you. Take me. Take me where you're going. Take me. Give me what you got. Good night, Carolyn. Melinda says, I see, said the blind man. Like Robert says, as we revisit the song, you're gonna know when the bullet hits the bone. Seriously. Stranger than fiction things are about to show up. It will make you gasp and collect yourself. But collect yourself you must. Remember, when something goes down, this was told to me it was going to occur. And because I'm remembering it, I'm going to find my center and just let this knuckleheaded nonsense do what it needs to do. Because I am not about to enter that arena. I'm just going to let it happen. Sounds like you don't have compassion for other people. You will never have compassion for other people until you have compassion for yourself. And maybe that very compassion for yourself is to step out of a world of nonsense. You will never make sense of a world of nonsense. You can't. In fact, if you do, you will find yourself stepping into the twilight zone. This is a madhouse. I feel like being cloned. My beacon has been moved under moon and star. Where do I go now that I've come too far? You are gonna know when the bullet hits the bone. You are loved beyond measure. It is my pleasure to be in this treasure trove with you as often as possible. Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. You can order this book now, pre-order on Amazon.com. Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, Keith Anthony Blanchard. I'm going to post that link right here shortly. You can say it with me. You are loved beyond measure.